Alright, today we're going to be discussing probably the most heinous thing that I've discovered. I'm assuming T-Mobile, Sprint, and Verizon do this. I know for a fact AT&T does this. AT&T does this, and it is complete and total BS. Complete and total BS. But first, let me give you an overview of the two services that I have the most experience with. I have AT&T. I was a AT&T customer for right about a decade. Then the other service that I'm currently using is Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile is a prepaid service that you can prepay for the entire year in advance, and it's on the T-Mobile network. So AT&T is, of course, a traditional carrier. You pay by the month. You get this. Mint has unlimited data, but here's the catch. You pay for 3, 8, or 12 gigs of 4G LTE data, and then after you use up all of that, it's still unlimited, but you drop down to 2 gigs. Now, at the time that I switched over, AT&T was offering unlimited. And the service area is probably the biggest difference between the two. The service area on T-Mobile is not bad. I do notice more dead spots with it, with Mint, than with AT&T. AT&T, I had friends that were on Verizon. Verizon had no service. AT&T had service. When AT&T had no service, Verizon had service. So that right there is probably the biggest difference. That's probably what I noticed the most in the service area. So the other big difference between a prepaid service and a traditional carrier is the ability to pay for your phones over time. So you can go to an AT&T store, buy and instead of having to fork over however much the cost of the phone is right there and then, you pay for it over 2 or 2.5 years, something like that. Comes out to like $30 or $40 a month. But then you're roped into using AT&T for that amount of time. Now the cost for all of this with AT&T is insane. When I left AT&T, I was paying $120 a month for unlimited everything. Switch it over to Mint, and I have 12 gigs of 4G LTE, and I pay $300 a year. So you do the math, it's like $20 a month. Something I noticed on this beauty right here. This is my old phone. This is a Samsung Galaxy S9. I was absolutely 100% convinced that I was going to have to get a new phone, and I was going to have to upgrade to an S10, I think had just come out, because I couldn't go 2 hours without the battery dying on this thing. The battery dying was entirely due to the bloatware and the fact that AT&T wanted to sell phones. So I got rid of I paid this phone off, got rid of AT&T, put a Mint Mobile SIM card in it, and immediately my battery life doubled. Immediately. I got another year out of this phone before it started glitching really bad, and I upgraded to this, which I've already talked about a lot on this channel. So AT&T is in the business of selling you the new phone, and they will completely and utterly ruin your perfectly good phone that works just fine. They will torch the battery. They'll do all kinds of wonderful shady stuff in order to get you to buy the latest, greatest phone. You can tell me it's a conspiracy theory. You can blow me up in the comments if you disagree with me. But this has been my experience with it, and I will never go back to your standard carrier again. Anyway, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you next Monday, where I think I'm going to actually do a review. Grab them real quick. On these earbuds I actually like. I do have issues with them. Mainly battery life. But battery life and no water resistance. But other than that,